Hello everyone, welcome back for another live session of character controller using netcode for entities and entities, of course. I've been working a bit on it today and I've added the camera follow, so now we have free look camera around the character that is following it. It has a bit of look ahead. It has a bit of damping also to smooth it a bit. So I've been using the camera follow setup that I've done, or similar than the camera follow setup that I've done for the Dots ECS Cinemachine video. That's on my channel, so you can check that out if you want to see more in details how I did that setup. And I've also used the hybrid approach. For now, it's just to set it up. It doesn't have any particular use, but now my entity is divided into the entity itself that will be simulated and the presentation game object, which is displayed on the client. And that one is just the rendering of the character, so just the capsule and nothing else. I wanted to try to do the movement relative to the camera, but I think I need to do more research on that because I will probably get messed up. Because if I want to do it relative to the camera, I need to have the camera orientation. And if the camera orientation, if I look at the main camera, let's start again, without moving the mouse. So the rotation is stabilizing as expected. And when I move, because of the damping and the look ahead, the rotation of the camera is modified. And if the camera rotation is modified, I will slightly deviate from my course and would not follow the black line that is represented here. So I think I need to find a way to get the raw camera transform before any computation by the Cinemachine. And same thing, I can't actually use the difference in position between the player that I'm tracking and the camera, because also with the damping it will be modified. It will be altered. So I need to find a way to do the movement based on the camera before the Cinemachine transform. I could actually do the movement relative to the player, but I'm not even rotating the player. So if I was to update my prefab and add it cylinder, let's say, to create the small mask, 0.1, 0.3, in Z 0.5, Y 0. Again, and let's move it, oops, up, or rotate it. So my forward, Z forward should be here. No, that's not facing it. Okay, so move like that. 0, 90, 90, 0, 75, 0, 6. Okay. And finally move. Okay. Does that make... Yeah, okay, so the forward is now indicated and I'm just moving the cylinder of the capsule. I'm not even rotating the player, and I would want the player to be rotated relative to the camera also. So same issue. So what we will do instead, I think we'll start to work on the jump. So first I will commit my changes for the camera setup. And now in my returning component, so not for the foundation but for the locomotion, I also need to refactor to start splitting in the same way as here. This is something that I took back from another project and the tutorial series, so that's why it's already formatted with also the assembly definitions and so on. So that's why it's already clean. And I want for my player authoring, actually the locomotion parameter I can here, and I want to work on the jump, and I will need to start. So let's do the most simple and basic implementation of the jump. Let's make a public float jump force. Okay, so that will be set directly. I already in my player authoring, in my player input, I had already done the where is it? Event jump. So I need to use a jump event, an input event, sorry, because of the update rate of capturing the input and updating the physics simulation or the server simulation. So this one will basically accumulate by a count, and once it's consumed, it will be reset. And in the player input system, when I press the spacebar, I set it. So now what I can do in the movement system, I have my player input. I can look at my Verlet simulation and apply actually a vertical velocity directly. So if the input I don't pass in the full input. That's my debug system. This one is player input. I'm reading the input and just giving the movement input. So I will change that, give directly the full input. And I will do the word space input being the input, and it's the player input. That will need to be factored also, because the player input is not actually only player input. I could use that to control non-player character. So still some naming to change. So now I'm back here to the input. Jump is set. So if I have the input set, I can change my new vertical, and actually I would want to change the velocity. So the current velocity, current vertical velocity, and set it to the locomotion parameters m-force and see what happens. So we are back in the editor. We'll take the prefab entity in the player input. Where did I put my locomotion parameters? That's it. So did I forget to save the file? No. Why are you not showing? This is the locomotion parameter, it's serializable. No, there is no compilation error. That's strange. All the other parameters are showing, but this one is not. It's not even showing in the debug. That should break everything. It's not recompiling. It's not detecting the change on the file. Let's use hot reload to force it to recompile and see if that solves the issue. I've been working with it all day and it's the first time it does that to me. No, still not. Okay, now you're there. Okay. Weird. So let's do, I don't know how much, 40. Let's see what it does. I may have forgotten to set it to the, because that's just a float. I want to set it to the actual inverse of the gravity. So in the movement, when I'm jumping here, I should multiply the force by the inverse of the gravity direction even times the gravity strength. Okay, and now I don't have my player. Okay. Whoop, 40 may be a bit too much. Where did you go? Yeah, that's a bit much. So let's do 1. That's too low. 5. Okay, so now I'm jumping very high. But only once. Let's look at the entity, player entity on the server. Jump player input. There is something wrong with the setting of the player input. Get key down, get key. And I should probably have some kind of grounding check. So for now the grounding is very simple, but grounded false. Assume the grounding is false. If we hit that, we say it's grounded. True. And if set and grounded, then I can apply the velocity to jump. And let's put something more reasonable, maybe. Let's hope 2 will work. No, it's not working. Input, where is my input? Player input. Okay, so that's not enough. It's a tricky number. So we'll do some actual math to have the proper. And I jumped. Let's try. To put it just below. What am I doing here? If the position is above 2, is below 2, that's complete nonsense. That's complete nonsense. If my player position -2, Hello. Yeah, keeping up the grind for both the views and the actual code implementation. Okay, so we are kind of jumping. Let's take a look at the... Oh, and we have the issue again. So let's try it once more, okay. Okay, so we are jumping way too high. Hopefully the issue was with my grounding. Yes, okay, that's better. It's absolutely not smooth also. So what's happening now? Do I still have the profiler issue? Spikes? Yes, I still have the spikes. I don't know where they come from, but I do have spikes in the rendering loop, and the GPU is probably too busy encoding or whatever, I don't know. Let's assume it would be smooth without this lag on the GPU. I will try that outside of the stream because I'm streaming and recording at the same time, so, and streaming to two platforms, so that may take a toll on the GPU. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I don't have vsync. Does vsync help? A little bit. That's smoother. Okay. So that's good, but that is not very designer friendly, because as you've seen, to set the actual jump, we use jump force, which is not very explicit, and I would like to just have the jump height. And for that, there was a very good talk at GDC few years back, and basically the jump force should be 2 times the height divided by the time I need to reach the... By the time I need to reach the height, I think. No, there was a gravity somewhere in there. Let me check. I think I've wrote it. Yes. I have my little sheets. So okay, so actually the velocity, so I need to manipulate the gravity also. So I need to find when my player is jumping. So let's put it in the Verlet simulation, because I don't want to have more component and refactor everything. I will refactor everything later. So let's do a public int jump count. By default, that will be 0. I don't need to send it. Closed field. There should be an option not to send it. Send data false, the same thing as this one. I don't actually want to send that data. And when I'm jumping, player movement system, really, if I'm jumping, I will do the really jump count plus plus. And when I'm grounded, I will do the jump count 0. So that should let me know if I'm jumping by combining the fact that I'm grounded and I have a jump count above 0. So to make the difference between jumping and falling, where is my vertical acceleration? Here. So if grounded, so if I'm not grounded and jump count is equal 0, is equal to 0, then that means that I'm falling. Let's start with plot 3, 0. And if I'm not grounded and the jump count is above 0, then I'm in jumping state, and now I need to know if the current, it doesn't really matter yet. So I've got the time and I need to apply, so I need to compute an initial velocity and a gravity. So in the player authoring, I need to start to split up these because it's getting messy. In the locomotion parameter, I need the jump height. In floats and the jump duration. And I need to have something like a public float get initial velocity. And this initial velocity, this one should be, we said 4 times the jump height divided by the jump duration. And the gravity, get jump gravity. This one should be minus 2 times the jump height divided by jump duration divided by 2, and this one needs to be squared. So that should give me a perfect jump at the height for the duration I want. If all my simulations are correct. And there is an issue because I didn't change the code here. So here I actually need to do the locomotion parameter get initial velocity. And here jump fall we need to apply a new vertical acceleration that is equal to the locomotion parameters, jump gravity, and that's the strength. So I should apply that in the sense of the gravity times the gravity strength also. No, not the not the strength. Not the strength. Let's not do the strength for now because that will mess up my initial my jump gravity. Okay, and I forgot to set the prefab. So I actually want to jump 4 units in 1 second. Ooh, that's not good. So what happened here? Is my math wrong? Gravity, so that's opposite to the gravitational direction. Okay, and jump gravity. Okay, first of all, gravity direction. And I'm not sure if I should put a minus or not. Let's see already if we don't apply the strength to the gravity. Again, the socket creation failed. Still jumping far too high. And I'm actually accelerating, so let's put a minus here. And see if we jump into oblivion again. Yeah, we jump far too high again, but this time we are at least reducing our velocity. So what's happening? With my computation. Jump count is applied after I've jumped and I've multiplied it by the gravity strength. So same thing. I should either not do it or do it to both, I think. Ah, much better. Okay, let's check the height. So we are at -2, and when we jump, we reach 227. So is that good or not? Because I've set the jump 4. So we are going a little bit too high. Which makes me think that I'm not setting the correct velocity. This one is the half step velocity. Which gives me the current vertical velocity, which I'm setting here. And my new velocity. I should also apply the vertical acceleration immediately, because here I will be applying it only from the next frame. So I should be applying it here also, but I've already computed it here, so okay, let's try that. Actually, let's disable this second player so it doesn't interfere with my test. Okay, we start at -2 and we should reach the stroke and the test. Okay, -2. .8. So we are not there yet. Actually, we are in the opposite. Why do I need to apply half of that acceleration? New acceleration. New velocity. Current velocity plus half the new acceleration. That's already halved. I don't get why I need to apply half of that acceleration. Oh, it seems that I need to apply half of the acceleration immediately. And 2. That's a perfect jump at the height I wanted. But now I don't understand why I need this. I don't get it because should I set the current acceleration? No, because if I set the current acceleration, it's completely ignored. Current vertical acceleration is never used. Current horizontal acceleration is used here. But in fact, it's not used. So I don't need that. Clean it up. I don't need that. And then I don't need that. Okay. Not sure why I need to change my acceleration to be half. But that works. So let's not bother with that. And actually, let's add in my debug system. That is just here. I want to draw a new line from my position to my position minus my velocity times system time delta time. And let's color that in green, why not, and make it last for 10 seconds. I want to track the path of my entity to see the shape of the jump when I'm moving. Okay, trying the gizmos. Okay, so here we can see that's a perfectly symmetrical parabola or parabolic shape. And I want to first control the length of the jump. So for that, in my locomotion parameters, looking at my math sheet, I want to control the length. I need to have the maximum speed here. So jump height. So basically the duration of the jump will be the length of the jump. So I don't need the jump duration anymore, or at least I will compute it. So public public float jump length. And the jump duration will actually become the length of the jump divided by the max speed. And that should do it. Okay, let's make a jump 4x4 and have a cube for 4x4x4, and we'll try with that. Maximum speed, jump, and is that 4x4? It's not actually moving the cube, so okay. And that is 4 in height and 4 in length. So we are good with the jump parameters. And the last one that I want to introduce is to have a symmetry parameter. And that is here. Float jump symmetry. That one will range from 0.1 to 0.9, because I don't want to have too harsh jump. Symmetry, that's not how it's written with a Y. Symmetry. No, how do I write symmetry? Not a graveyard, symmetry. Symmetry 2M. Always. Okay, a jump symmetry. Good. I don't see. Hello, Vadim. I hope I'm not too late. I'm not attentive to the chat because I reorganized everything. CodeMop, I've missed your message. Sorry. No C++ here. I'm using Unity, so only C#. Can I get the time on this? No, never mind. So I hope I didn't miss too much message. Sorry. I'm working on the jump right now because the movement relative to the camera, I'm I'm a bit screwed with Cinemachine. So I'm focusing on the jump and I'm trying to work on having the parameter as designer friendly, let's say, as possible. And so right now I have my parameter for the height and length of the jump. I know I want to add the symmetry. The aim being to control the profile of the jump and make it feel heavier on landing or something like that. So go back to the actual code, because now I have the jump symmetry and I need to take that into consideration into my computation for the initial velocity. So for the initial velocity, I need to simplify by replacing the jump duration by this. So that means multiplying by the max speed and divided by the length. And in that case, I can replace that with the jump symmetry. So that should be okay. And for the actual gravity, I will need two gravities now. One for the ascending. So first I can again replace here, so the jump duration by this divided by this. So the times 2 comes here normally. Since it's squared, I can take it and make a 4 here. No. Okay, I forgot my math, but it should be good. If I do 2 times the jump height, I should multiply by the maximum speed squared. Mass dot square maximum speed. And I should divide by the distance, so the jump length, multiplied by the symmetry, so exact things here. And also, so that will be the gravity for ascending when I'm going up the jump. And for the descending gravity, I should have same thing, but here 1 minus the jump symmetry. And now in the player movement system, I need to fix things here. So first, this one will be the ascending. And for this one, I actually need to know if I'm ascending or descending. And for that, I can look at my velocity, mass dot between the velocity and the gravity direction. Oops. And if these are below 0, they are in opposite directions, so I'm actually going up, so that's gonna be the ascending, and else I will be descending. Hopefully that works. And I may need, if I'm reaching the height, the top of the jump, in the middle of that time step, I may need to wait it. But let's check already if we broke the base jump, the basic jump. Still broken with the... Okay, move, maximum speed, jump, up, and we broke something because I'm pretty sure we jumped much more than 4. So the initial velocity must be too strong. Initial velocity, what did I put? For HVX over D. 4h jump height, maximum speed divided by the distance with the jump symmetry. So that's okay. And the gravity, if I just change the initial velocity, that will shorten the jump. So I think it's the gravity that is too small. So I may have messed up my math on the cheat sheet. Let's try once more. Oh, come on. That still seems to be more than 4. Yep. But is it less than before? Because I have somewhere on one of my sheets number 8. Worst thing is that I did manage to make it in another project, and I should probably look at that. I don't get it. It's so... It hasn't changed. So gravity has no effect, which doesn't make sense. Let's jump pause. So I'm ascending, and my current acceleration is minus 200. And my acceleration is still minus 200. Yes, which makes sense because I have the symmetrical jump. Okay, that does make sense. But I don't understand why this doesn't seem to affect the height of the jump. or the length of the jump for that matter. So I was at 200 with the times 8 and now I'm with a times 2, so I should be at 50 something. Let's try jump. No, it's still 200. Why am I applying 200 constantly? Movement system. Initial velocity, okay. Gravity. Is the symmetry affecting it? So prefab, something like that. Yes, so the symmetry is working. But I'm jumping way too high. Let's change the computation for the height parameter, the initial velocity, sorry. Let's say 2. Do I jump twice lower or half the previous one? Because it should be 4. Should it? No, it should not be 4, in fact. Yeah, I don't think it should be 4. Scene. Where is my 4x4 cube? Create a new one. 3D cube. 1x4x4. Yes, that's better. 4x4. Okay. Okay, so sorry. I need to review my math because I've messed a few things up. And actually, I have one more thing that I want to add. And that is some airtime. So let's add jump airtime between this one and this one. Okay. Distance in the air. Distance minus the distance in the air divided by 2. So this one should be between. Can I do that? No, fortunately not. And it's not a time. Distance in the air is airtime by x, so public float air distance jump air distance, which is gonna be jump air time maximum speed, and this one will get deduced here. And it will get deduced so for the ascending I need to do the jump length, so I need to do that, and here I need to do that also. Okay, but I need to find a way to limit this one to something that is reasonable. If it's 0, it should not affect at all the jump. Player prefab airtime 0. Okay, let's actually put back the symmetry to something like that. What happened? If the airtime is 0, I'm dividing by 0 somewhere. 0, 0, that's 0, so that's annoying. That's an issue. Because that's not logical. Yeah, screwed up. That's actually not logical, because if this one was 0, no, it's not multiplied, it's minus. Why? I'm not even reading correctly my cheat sheets. That's minus, so I don't divide by 0. Okay. And now I should be able to set it back to 0. Okay. Did it actually recompile already? Thanks to hot reload, maybe. Yes. So this one is good. Can I change live this? Yes. So that works also. I'm having big lags, but never mind. And the jump time, if I put something like that and go back to 0.5. Okay, can put more. I want it to flatten. This is too laggy. Why is it so laggy? Where do you come from? data deserializer. What's that? I don't know what that is, but it's screwing up with my simulation. Let me check what do I have open. Not that much. Okay. That's flat. No. That's not what I wanted to do, but I have no idea what value to put here. It's supposed to make you jump, stay flat above, and then fall down. But I'm not sure exactly what is happening here. The formula should be correct. Jump air distance, yes. Jump air time, okay. Actually, I think there is a naughty attribute to limit validator. I would need to look at the documentation to remember how it's working for this one. But let's, I will try that again. Do you want me to try to continue to debug that, or do you want to do something else? Because it's kind of hard to debug with the spikes of the GPU rendering or whatever, I don't know, but screwing up the editor. So I kind of want to, should be able to set that to 0. Is there anything else you would want to be able to control regarding a jump? We should be able to control with precision the jump height, the jump length based on the maximum speed, and the profile of the jump. So if, for instance, I try to make a jump height of 4 and length of 10, going at maximum speed, that should be okay. And this line is, I need to review my debug because this line is very strange. Let's see the cube. Create 3D cube. Not under the main camera especially. And make it 4 in height, 10 in length. The other way around. 10, 4. And if I place it here, I should be good. That's okay. And I should now be also able to change the symmetry, so make it fall faster at the end. Let me put that here, and we should unpause. Let's go. Jump. Okay, and need to check. Yeah, still good. And for the other direction, project prefab jump faster at the beginning, so it should reproduce the same curve here actually. Yes, I may not have been at maximum speed. Okay, and that should still be maybe too short and too high. I mean, the value is quite extreme, so it should be good enough. Okay, so let's actually commit those changes. Jump, adding jump with control over 8 length and symmetry. Okay, check in the changes and what else do we need to do? The actual physics. So adding a capsule collider and doing the collision check. Or so we have still the physics to implement. We still have the relative movement with the camera, or with the player, or both. And then we would need to do with the special abilities like dashing, climbing, and stuff like that, but we need the physics for that first. And maybe some refactoring. It's taking very long to check in. Are you okay? Let's open that in the desktop app. It should have done the check-in, I think. Hopefully. Where is it? In the version control. Okay. I really hope the check-in worked. Okay. The files are on my PC, so that should be okay. I'm not collaborating with anyone. So let's do a bit of refactor to make things clean for the next steps. So we'll start with separating the systems. So refactor. There should be something to allow me to extract the file. Extract class. No. Oh, it's already in the proper file name, so contextual menu, move. Yes, that's what I want. Move type to matching files in file. Okay, so that's Good. Locomotion util will do the same thing. Rider is quite good at moving stuff, and if you want to try it, you can try it for free. There is a free non-commercial license now, so feel free to check it out. Because once you start, it's quite difficult to go back to Visual Studio. Move. Let's separate everything in its own file. So that's param, methods, utils, player input. We have components. Move. We can apparently even generate the baker and authoring script from Rider, so that's cool. Player input system. That's alone. It's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Yes. Yes. The authoring is alone. Input is alone. And I actually want to move to the new input system also. So maybe I need to use the hybrid approach for that. So this one is completely split. So let's organize the folder structure to have something similar to what we have in the foundation. I won't do the assembly definitions yet, because I don't want to have to select all the assemblies, so burst, collection, and so on, physics, and so on. So it's easier to work on stuff within the, let's say, global assembly, and then to split things and refactor it so that you get the iteration speed you want. Create a folder, runtime, because we don't have any editor for that. Authoring, then we have components, then we have systems, and now we can come over here and say this one, and this one are systems. Move them here. Verlet, player input, and locomotion parameters. So if we look here, the Verlet is a component, the player input is a component, and so that's new. I need to check where that comes from. This auto-generated by Rider. And so Verlet, player input, and I think that these are the only two components that I have. Maybe locomotion parameter I should put in components, because it's basically, I will leave it here because I think it will be split into two assets, a scriptable asset and a structure for the blob assets. So I will leave it at the root of the runtime actually. The locomotion utils, that's actually where I put all my logic. So I will put it closer to the systems because it's more behavior than data. And the authoring will go into authoring. Okay. And actually I need to check with my other player to make sure that I'm not missing synchronization or something. So let's check both. Check that we didn't break anything with the reorganization, and check that it's still working also on the other players. Okay, second player is active. So put the game view back, oops, here. Center play mode. Okay, that's good. And the second player, sorry, second player is also jumping in the same way, and that's pretty smooth. So that should be okay. Seems to be a good run, this one. So let's actually try the airtime, see what it does. I think there is something wrong with the airtime, but let me know. Tell me if you want to have the airtime control or not, because it seems to not be working really well. So if it's worth investing in some time like that. Runtime authoring, so we have all of that. The locomotion parameters will be split up, so let's commit that again. Reorganize theirs. Okay, much faster, good. And now that is done, should we try to do the relative to camera movement or the physics? Do I have the physics package already? First question. There's not much activity today. What have you been up to? What's your plan for the weekend? I don't think I have the physics package yet, because it installed everything with the multiplayer center, so no, I don't. So I actually need to add the physics package to do the physics. So I will do that off stream. So let's go back to actually the movement relative to the camera. So I want to simplify stuff for myself, so I will change the setup so that there is no dumping, no looking ahead, and that should already solve one of my issues. No, it doesn't. So there is still some damping applied somewhere. No. I'm not a pro in Cinemachine, but I don't want to. So let's say none. If I do none. No, it's still lagging behind the character. Ooh. But at least it's not changing the orientation. So let's find the correct setup. The orbital follow with a hard look at. So that should be okay, but why am I still lagging behind? That's not it. Blending mode, world space, sphere, 10, position damping. Oh, okay, that was this one. Okay. So now at least the camera, if I restart, keep. Okay, so the camera is not affected by the movement. Camera rotation. I can draw now in my scene. And I need to send this rotation now to the player movement system, or I need to reorient in the player input. I need to reorient it. So in the player input system, I can get the main camera. Camera. Oops. Main camera. Dot transform. Dot forward times forward will be the vertical axis plus camera transform camera dot height times horizontal axis. Okay, and that will be my player input. Plot 2. Direction. Does that work like that? What am I doing? Yes, that will work because my up is still the same. So I can just get away with, I should be able to get away with just saying, okay, it's a float 2 direction movement. Okay, movement direction, and that will be my movement direction. That's a float 3 already. So it needs to be a float 3 actually. Does it? Dot movement direction, and this one needs to be a float 3. But if it's a float 3, I'm thinking one more data. I'm not sure that's good. And now the locomotion util is not working. Input dot move direction directly. That's becoming a float 3, and that's not what's expected here. Align input to gravity plane. I will skip that altogether. Movement direction, movement magnitude. Input. I actually need to have the movement direction and movement input, so let's just say float 3 here. Does it change anything? Yes. Okay, try it like that and see if that breaks things for the simple scenario already. Okay, so that's good. And if I rotate my camera, yes, so that's working as I expect. Now, if I set back again the damping, so let's put back 111, see if that change my logic. Interplay mode. Why are you not entering play mode? Yeah, that's messing up because I'm not rotating the camera, I'm just going left and right and it's moving with me. And actually, let's remove the damping, but add the look ahead feature in the rotation composer. Damping, let's just test the damping alone. So damping is not affecting it, but the look ahead I think will. Ah no, the look ahead is not affecting it. Okay, my bad. So it's just the dumping. Position dumping. How aggressively the camera tries to maintain the offset per axis. Small number or more responsive, rapidly translating the camera to keep the target offset. Okay, so if I do dumping on Y and Z, oops, on X and Z, yeah, that's screwing up. Dumping, the position dumping is just the position dumping of the orbital. So if I put the look ahead like that, that is vibrating a lot, but I don't think I've set up the look ahead. Okay, so I can set up to look ahead like 40 with a smoothing of no, never mind. It's also screwing the no dumping. No, the look ahead and the dumping are screwing up the rotation of the camera, so that doesn't work. So let's try another approach, which I don't think will work either, but in the input system, so that's let's say the direct camera transform approach. Transform approach. Now let's say that I don't want to use this, but instead I will compute a new camera forward from the position. From the position and the player position, so I need the FO of the local transform. Here. So this is my position minus my transform dot value arrow dot position and mass and so that gives me the vector from my camera to my player, or the other way around, I can never remember. And I want to project that, so that's the camera forward. Actually, the camera forward is tilted also, so can deal with the tilt later. Forward. Let's normalize it. Why no suggestion? Should not be that hard. Math, normalize, safe. This one. Ambiguous vector and okay, so let's load 3 cast you, so you are happy. And for the camera dot camera height, so that's gonna be the cross of this one and the math up, which is the y-axis. So that should give me the camera height, and I can now put that, plug that here, so forward and height, and see what happens based on damping and look ahead and so on. So the first test will be no damping, no look ahead, nothing. Let's try. I'm already kind of screwed up in the opposite direction because I inversed. So this one is already not working, but let's just fix this because I always inverse both of them. So even without damping and so on, that approach does not work because probably because of the order in which the updates are done. So basically my character position and my camera positions, character is updated and then I'm getting the forward vector, so it's already shifted. What? No suitable code generated for what? What are you saying? Assets. Invalid operation, no suitable code replacement generated. This is either due to generator failing or lack of support to your current context. Okay, recompile. Try again. Better. And now I inverted my axis, so this was probably in the correct order in the first place. But it doesn't work, so it doesn't matter because that does not work, simply. Neither approach work. So I need to find a way to get the camera orientation before Cinemachine changes it with the damping and so on. So just to demonstrate again, let's do this one. Comment this. Okay, so this one is working better because there is no actual change in the damping and in the look ahead. But as soon as I put some look ahead, the trajectory is altered. Or if I don't even put a look ahead, but I put some damping on the position, this is also screwing up that. So need to figure something out for that. I think I will leave it here for tonight. Thanks for joining, for watching, for saying hi. Hope for the next one that I will have better solution for the movement, and I will have installed also the physics, so at least we will work on the physics for doing the ground checking first, and we'll see if we handle slopes and wall collisions and stuff like that. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit the video or the streaming. Don't hesitate to join me on Discord if you want to chat outside of the streams, and if you want to support me, you can watch the tutorial series, watch the videos of the channel, like, share, subscribe, and for more direct support, let's say, you can look at my Ko-fi page linked in the description, and you can also use the asset store affiliate link that are also in the description. Speaking of which, I think we have a new we have a new publisher of the week, and there is probably a Halloween sale or something like that going on, so go check it out using the affiliate link in the description. That would help me a lot. Thank you again, and see you